Friends, it's Miss Liz again. And last time you did some form drawing based on kind of a Waldorf education approach to drawing, and you also did mirror drawing with your name. Hopefully, if you didn't do that one, go back and try it. Now today we're going to do a little bit more tricky drawing. I call it follow the leader drawing because you're kind of following me and then you're going to break out, go crazy. And you're going to do some kind of drawing and shading that is sort of like what's called an Irish knot. Sort of, kind of, a little different. So just stay with me. Okay. So last time you did this form drawing where you drew the top and the bottom, trying to be even with keeping this imaginary line in the middle. So wiggle top, wiggle bottom, imaginary line in the middle. Now if I actually draw that line in with a different color, that line actually has a name. It has a name in art. They use the same name in math. They also use this name in science. And that name is this, axis. That is the axis. That goes in between. When you get older, you'll even learn there's an axis that goes horizontal and an axis that goes vertical, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Just so you know that when you did the mirror drawing, there was an axis that you did not cross. Now you're going to do some drawing that you're going to cross the axis. Sometimes people want to draw that line first so they can see it, but you don't have to. I'm going to show you two ways of doing this. One with an axis, one without. It's super hard to do. You might need to draw a few times. So this one is a loop-de-loo. So I'm going to go up. Actually, uno, dos, tres. There's my top line. Uno, dos, tres. There's my bottom line if I want to be very careful about it. Okay, so I go up to the top line, loop-de-loo. Down to the bottom line, loop-de-loo. Up to the top line, loop-de-loo. Down to the bottom line, loop-de-loo. Try! It's hard. Now, if that bothers you, if having that axis there bothers you, you can keep your axis in your brain. Remember, it's A-X-I-S, axis. You can also try it without an axis. This is harder, but you can try up to the top, loop-de-loo, down to the bottom, loop-de-loo. What? It's crazy. Now, you're going to do another one down here. This one is almost the same loop-de-loo, but instead of having rounded edges, it has some hard edges. It goes up, across, down. Now without the axis, ooh, I messed up. Whew, this is just ways of getting your brain to start playing around. Okay, I'm going to show you two more really tricky ones, and you could either follow it with your eyes or you can see what I do and try it yourself. You can even make the top of the axis different than the bottom of the axis. And here, I'm going to draw that axis again because it helps my brain. Now you can practice your own. You can make your own. I'm just kind of playing around with them as I go along. So here are the different ones. You can put this on pause. I'm also going to upload these pictures into Google Classroom, and you can try this yourself. Okay. There's a lot of different ways to learn to draw. This is just one of them where you're getting your thinking flexible, you're getting your hand flexible, you're making your eyes and your brain be the driver, your hand and the pen being the car. You want this to listen to this and this. Now, at the beginning of this video, I also said that we would be looking a little bit at making Celtic type knot. Now, the Celts were people who lived in Middle and Northern Europe, and they started there, and we think around 2,500 years ago, all the way up, and they started dividing and changing. And by the 11th century, they split into different groups. But they were doing this art that involves something called Celtic knots. It would be a disservice to say we know everything about them in this tiny little video. But for our purposes, the Celtic knot is something that doesn't have a beginning and it doesn't have an ending. We think maybe this represented eternity for the Celts. We think maybe it represents love or friendship. For us, it could represent anything that doesn't have a beginning or an end. And the drawing that you were doing will really help you with drawing this pseudo, that means not quite real, Celtic knot. Now, before I go to my nice paper, because I am using nice paper for this, if you don't have it, that's totally fine. You can just practice on this. And you want to do something that works with those loop-de-loos that you were just doing, but instead of it just going across, it's going to connect. There's no beginning and no end. So you're just going to practice first. And so if I'm practicing, I might loop-de-loo, loop-de-loo. And now that's kind of regular. It's kind of cool. But I could also practice over here, big loop. Now you want to be able to cross have at least 3 crossings. This crosses here once, twice, 3, 4. So I got 4 here. Fine. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Now, once you like what you did, you can keep practicing. Then you can go on nicer paper if you have it. If you don't have it, keep on going on what you've got. And if you don't like something, this is where you can use eraser side. So if you actually would prefer if this went like that, awesome. And then you can erase. So I'm going to double line, meaning if I go on this side, I'm making this one be the follow the leader. Now I'm going so fast that I'm going so fast that I got a little thick in some places, but that's okay. Now once I do this, this is the hard part. This is where you're going to need your eraser. Now this doesn't have a great eraser, but it'll work. I know I have another eraser around here somewhere, but we're going to use this. This is hard. If you can't figure this out, don't worry. I'm going to erase some lines. So there's my over. And this went over, so now it goes under. So that's the pattern. This went under, and so now this goes over. This is tricky, tricky, tricky. This went over, so now it goes under. This went under, so now it goes over. Now, make sure that if I'm following this line, chugga, 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 it goes underneath this part, joop, 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 and then it goes over this part. It goes underneath this part, over here, underneath, over. This is so tricky. Underneath, over. And so if you really love it, and again, you don't have to do this part, but if you want to push yourself, this is where I think that my lines are right, and I'm going to go over them with marker. And I could leave it there, or I could even go crazier. Everywhere it's going to go under, I'm going to give it a little bit of purple. I think I got them all. Now, if you want to even get more intense with this, I could color the background. I could do another. You could also do it just with pencil. So if I have one coming down over and under this way, I can do it with shading with my pencil. And I can smudge it. And I can smudge it if I really want to get fancy. So there's a lot of ways to make it look 3D, but basically you are going to make your hand start and stop doing swirls or doing straight lines, that kind of twist. You could even do it out of a star. There's so many ways to do this. I just want you getting your brain to be able to do what you're getting your hand to do what your brain tells it. Okay, friends, good luck. It's fun. It should be fun. If it's making you pull your hair out, then try again later. Don't just give up, but try. I miss you so much. I hope you're staying home and staying safe. I hope to see you soon. And you can always reach out to me by email or through Google Classroom. Okay, this is Miss Lissa signing off. Until next time, bye.